Well, hello everyone. This is just a quick video about a boom sprayer that I made. I was looking around, and closest thing that I found that I even was interested in was about $1,000. So I was like, I'm not paying $1,000 for just some boom sprayer. So I made one, and this one's my first pass. This is all put together using PVC pieces that I got from Home Depot. These are sprinkler heads, 90-degree sprinkler heads. I have 4 of them on there. On the sides here, those were intended to use along fence lines where I could just turn one of them on and it would just spray. Those are 360-degree spray heads. You can adjust them. So I was going to adjust those down to whatever it needed to be to clear out the fence lines at the time. And I put one on each end. And these are all just risers, 1/2-inch sprinkler risers. And this is a plastic pallet, so hopefully it won't rot out when it's sitting on the ground. This is just a simple Harbor Freight pump. It's a 12 volt, I think it's 290 gallons per hour. And I just hooked it up to this. I put a on-off valve there, mainly to keep it from doing a siphon when it's not running. And, you know, to also turn it off and make sure I'm not dripping weed killer or whatever everywhere. This is the inlet where it pulls water from this 55-gallon plastic drum. I basically just drilled a 3/4-inch hole there, cut the end off at an angle on the pipe and shoved it down in there, and then it just sucks straight from there. I don't have a strainer, I don't have a pressure relief or anything like that put on here yet, mainly because I don't really think I need one for just the basic stuff that I'm going to do. As you can see here, we get weeds. I scraped the rocks back so I can get some control of these weeds underneath the parking area that we have here by the building. I mean, you can just see all the weeds there. And they grow up through the rock. So I scraped some of the rock back, and I'm going to just weed kill this area until it's completely dead. And then I'm going to come back and put some more base in and put some more rock on top of it. But that's basically why I built this. I don't want to do this by hand, walk around with a backpack sprayer all day. One thing I did do is I put an on and off switch on here so that way I could turn it on and off from my cab. I want to be able to use this from the cab of the tractor or the skid steer. I'll still wear a mask in case anything gets in, but you know, I don't want to breathe this stuff or touch this stuff. Right now there's just water in here. I was testing it. It works pretty good. So far so good. I just got a real cheap jumper cable that I got for like $5. Cut it, hooked it to this battery over here, and wired it up. So now I have this little remote. I bought this on and off switch off Amazon, and it works pretty good. Let me give you a demo. So I'm gonna turn the valve on so that way the water will go, and then I'm just gonna hit, if you can see that, on. Check that out. Now it's spraying. I can adjust this pattern to be much wider. So right now I just want it about maybe 8 to 10 feet wide. And it's spraying great. It's actually spraying really heavy. I've got these sprinkler heads turned all the way open because I really want to hit this pretty hard with killer. But eventually I'm going to adjust that to be a lot less. And then if I want to turn it off from the cab, I just hit off. It's just that simple. And like I said, it just wires into this little box here. I'm going to put all of this nicer. I want to test this first to make sure everything's going to work the way I want it. And then I'm going to come back and probably rearrange this a little different. I've noticed this pallet sags a little bit in the middle. I wanted to use plastic because I wanted not to deal with rot. And even those pieces of wood, I was going to pull those off and either use some other kind of plastic or something to hold that in with some straps instead of putting really any wood on it. But who knows. And then I want to be able to build like a little case for this battery and make it where it's go through. And then I'll probably put, you know, pressure regulator and all that kind of stuff on it. But for now, I'm just going to test it out and see how well it works. So let me get this going and see if it does the job well. As you can see, these are dripping even though it's still off. And that's what I mean by the siphon. So the water level's up here in the barrel, if you can see it. These are down here, so this is going to slowly drip out whatever liquid's in that barrel if I don't turn it off. So that's what this on and off switch is for. Now that I turn it off, those are pretty much just going to stop dripping. and that's just because of the siphon.
I don't know if you can see it really well, but this is the whole point of why I wanted this type of spray unit. So I have a pallet fork, as you can see on the front of this tractor, and it goes on my skid steer also. And I can see exactly where I'm spraying, where it's going, how well it's spraying, how much liquid I have left. I don't have to keep turning around trying to figure out, you know, am I out yet, or is anything going on? I can see it right in front of me. And I can even see it better in the skid steer, but I just had the tractor out first, so I'm using the tractor. But I don't know if you can see it well in the video, but it's spraying really well. I can see my pattern as I'm driving. It's great so far. I think these spray heads may be spraying a little too much liquid, but basically where I'm spraying, I just want it everything dead, all vegetation dead, because it's just going to have rock and road base. So this is my test ground. But yeah, it's doing great, and I'm sure I've got some cool improvements I can do. But I can sit inside my cab, AC running, spray whatever I need to spray. I can see it with no problem, and when I'm done, I can just go set it down with the rest of my implements that are under the cover over there, and come back and pick it up with the pallet fork again when I need to. So yeah, this thing's working awesome so far. I really like the pallet fork idea. Anyways, that's my update on this thing, and I'll check it out again once I'm completely empty.
So yeah, I ran all the fluid through it, ran through fine. Pump, it's just what I had it in the building, so figured why not just use that. If it goes out, I'll put a diaphragm pump. This is that on-off switch that I got off of Amazon. I'll put a link to that down below in the description. This is a pretty cool thing. It works great. That was awesome, turning it on and off from the cab. You could also run a wire, you know, into your cab, into a cigarette lighter or something under your battery if you wanted. I may make it where I just hook it up to the battery instead of having to have another battery, because that is kind of lame, always just adding a battery to it. And I'm going to stiffen it up some. I'm going to probably put 2 pallets. If I had to do over again, I had these pallets already, I'd probably use a solid plastic pallet. It'd probably be a little sturdier, and it probably also would give me better places to mount all this. I still may do that. This 55-gallon barrel worked out fine. That's quite a bit of storage, but if you needed something bigger, you could easily make this out of like a 275-gallon tote, one of those IBC totes. So yeah, this is just, like I said, a preliminary idea. Worked great. I'm gonna do some work on it. I may look at Tractor Supply or something where they have the actual sprayer tips that are meant for the sprayers. These spray a lot. I think these heads are like 1 gallon per minute, and they're not perfectly even spray all the way across. I mean, it's heavier on the edges than it is in the middle, but all in all, it worked pretty good. Let me know if any of you out there have made your own sprayers and some of the improvements I could do to this to make it even better. Like I said, I may come back and add a pressure regulator, a better pump and stuff like that, but for now this did exactly what I needed it to do and sprayed pretty much all of the parking area I have and most of the driveway before it ran out. One thing that's good about having this barrel and laying it on its side is you got a little better visibility. If this thing was standing straight up, you'd have a little bit more blocking your view up high, and if it was a tote, I mean, those things are big, that would block the whole front of it. So I like this barrel size. It's more than enough liquid to spray. All right, well, if you guys have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know you liked it, and if you would, subscribe to the channel. It's that red button right below the video. It's absolutely free. It just lets you know when I've got new videos and helps get my channel out there, so that's really appreciated if you guys would subscribe. And until the next video, y'all take care.